everybody, this is Steve from Bliss Pro. I'm here today at PAX East, and I get to sit down with two of the awesome guys from Heroes of the Storm. I'm going to have them introduce themselves, and then we'll jump into a bunch of questions. We'll start on the left.
My name is Dustin Browder, and I'm the game director on Heroes of the Storm.
Awesome.
And I'm Phil Gonzales. I'm a senior artist on Heroes of the Storm.
All right, Phil and Dustin, thank you very much. This weekend, you've revealed 4 new heroes and gave us a sneak peek on 3 more. Can you briefly explain the 4 heroes that you revealed yesterday and why you chose these 4? And also, how do you envision these 4 heroes changing the current game being played in the technical alpha?
I don't know if I can do that briefly, but we can certainly try. So we showed Lily yesterday. Lily is an easier to play support character in the sense that she doesn't have to target a lot of her abilities. She can just it hits the nearest ally. So she just has to position herself in the appropriate place, hit the button, and the ability flies. She's also got the ability to move more quickly once she gets hit. So she's got kind of a free get out of trouble kind of mechanic. So you don't have to babysit her as much. Like if you're playing with Malfurion, you got to protect Malfurion, and he protects you, and you're a team, right? Lily's easy. She's scrappy. She can take care of herself, right? And so you want to protect her for a little bit, but it's not too hard to keep her safe. And so we sort of put her in as an easier to play kind of support character because we know a lot of new users like playing support characters, and we wanted to see if we could make that work. And, of course, we were dying to do the character itself, right?
Right on.
And then we put in Zagara, who is a strategic kind of siege character. So we've had siege characters in the game for a while now, characters like Gazlo, the Tinker, right, who's really good at destroying enemy infrastructure, destroying their bases, destroying their towns, their towers, killing their minions, that kind of thing. And so we put in Zagara, who's good at all that stuff as well, but she can also slime up a lane with creep, so she keeps vision on that lane.
Right.
And she can create Nidus worms, let her move from lane to lane. So now she wants to be sort of watching the whole map to figure out where is the enemy weak, where can I strike? And she's got the mobility to be there almost immediately and then to get out if things go horribly wrong. So we're trying to create heroes that play very differently from anything we've made before. So you sit down to play the game, you're like, whoa, what is this? That kind of breaks the mold from what I was expecting. And so when we were looking at characters like Zagara or characters like Brightwing, which is a support character, it's a fairy dragon, and Brightwing has the ability to teleport to any ally. So again, you don't really know where she's going to be, and she's got to keep a watch on a big area of the map, mostly on her friends, to make sure that her friends are safe.
Right.
And if they are in trouble, she can get to them immediately. It's not enough just to watch what's happening in front of her. She's also got to keep an eye out as to what's going on. So he kind of plays very different. Like an Uther doesn't have to worry about that at all. Uther's just going to look at the people in front of him. He's going to look at his buddy and protect him, and that's his job. And if he does that well, he wins. Brightwing only wins if the team is safe, and that's what she's trying to do. I think the weirdest character we showed this week was Murky from Murloc.
It's a great applause, too.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And Murky is a character who isn't good at fighting. He can't take any damage. He can't hurt anybody, really. But he has the special ability to lay an egg, and when he dies, he comes back almost immediately at that egg. So he breaks the core death rules of the game. And so he will, attack you, weaken you a little bit. You'll kill him. He'll come back. He'll weaken you a little bit. You'll kill him. And by the 3rd or 4th time, you're like, I don't know, I'm getting pretty tired of killing Murky, right? And eventually he'll wear you down and take you out. He's also got the ability, because he doesn't mind dying, to be very aggressive. He can sneak around to a part of an enemy base that would be ordinarily way too risky to make a move on for any other hero who would be out of the game for 30 seconds if they died. He can sneak around and start throwing bombs and slamming up towers, and if he gets killed, he gets killed. He's cool with it.
Right on.
But if he doesn't, man, he can cause a lot of problems in the backfield.
Kind of creates a little chaotic element.
Yeah, so he's very, he can be very challenging to deal with as an enemy player, and so you're really playing a very different game. If I'm playing, Nova versus Demon Hunter, I'm trying to kill you, you're trying to kill me, we're doing this very specific dance, mana and health, and who has enough, right? And it's all very cool and interesting. If you're playing against Murky, it's just like, wow, this is changing my whole game. I don't really care how much damage you do. I care how much damage. I don't care if I kill you, right?
Because you're just going to come back.
You're just going to come back, and I got to make sure that I protect myself from any damage because I don't want to get worn down by you, and I want to protect my town from any damage. And every time I kill you, if you've done the half damage to one of my towers, I'm not going to call that a win, right? That was actually me losing ground, and so it really changes not only how you play as Murky, but how you play when you're playing against Murky, which is sort of always our goal, is to try to break the mold as much as possible so that every time you sit down to play, it's a new experience.
Cool. Excellent. It was announced yesterday that the technical alpha will be wiping on Tuesday. Will we be seeing these 4 new heroes after the reset? And is there anything else that we'll be seeing on Tuesday?
I don't think these 4 new heroes are going in right away. We still got some more work. You probably saw some bugs in that video if you look at it, right? Where stuff goes
it's a little wonky.
Is that what's supposed to be? No. So those won't going in right away. I don't know if I have the exact list. You got to forgive me, and I'm not trying to be coy. I play the alpha I play an internal build, right? It's all kind of a mess to me as to where it actually is going in. I have multiple different internal builds I'm playing, so I'm not exactly sure what's going in when we next update.
I believe Lily and Brightwing are the ones coming up, though. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
Something to look forward to.
Ish.
Very cool. Are you planning on having incentives to get people to play ranked modes, such as skins that you can't buy, for instance?
I don't know if we're going to do that or not. I don't know if we consider that necessary. We haven't even really designed ranked mode yet, right? So we've got, a competitive mode now, which is sort of our, unranked play. We'll be adding a ranked mode down the road, but I think when we get to that, we'll look at the rewards for it and see what makes sense. It's a great idea.
Okay, excellent. How do you plan to handle maps in ranked? We still have a couple more questions on it. Will it be random or by vote, and will we know what map we're playing before picks and bans?
I don't know for sure, having not designed it, but our inclination would be that you do know what map you're going to play before you go in.
Good.
Right? That's just it's not serious enough, right? Otherwise, and so we think we'll do is probably say, look, you're going to play a ranked game on this map, okay? Choose what you want to do, and there may be the ability in ranked as well to see what the enemy team is choosing as well. Like, we haven't designed that out yet, right?
Okay.
What you're playing right now is designed primarily for our pickup group, unranked. It's very much designed for the new player who's very afraid of losing his favorite hero, so he chooses before we match, right?
Gotcha, yep.
So that's what it's designed for, and it's cool, but that's not where everybody will be all the time. As players learn the game, they're going to want modes where they have a lot more information before they make that vital decision of what hero they're going to play. They want to see what their allies are choosing. They want to see what the map is. They may want to see what the enemy's choosing. And so,
just for those team comps.
Yeah, just for the team comps. And it's real. It's a big part of the game, right? And so we don't know what the team comps are going to be because there's no meta yet, but they will be there, right, for sure. So yeah, we definitely want to provide those kinds of that kind of information to the player before they launch.
Okay, cool. Are there any plans to increase the gold gain from quests? At the moment, it feels like a huge grind to buy any hero with the in-game currency.
That stuff's all in a state of transition, and that's a big part of the technical alpha is we're discovering and learning like what works, what feels good, what could be adjusted, and I mean anything could change at this point, and we're definitely making those adjustments.
We're definitely open to that feedback. I've heard that feedback before. I think it's good feedback, and we're going to look at some stuff we can do. There's also a lot of stuff that's incomplete right now. A lot of the quests don't work. Like, they don't even fire. Like, I've had them. I'm stuck on the one quest from a week ago. I'm like, I wish this would just go away or just fire or something, but it doesn't complete. So that affects my perception how much gold I'm getting because there's gold in those quests.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then at the same time, there's more stuff we want to do. We've talked in the past about having a weekly quest that would appear. That would be an injection of gold into the economy as well. But I can't. Phil's totally right. Like, we're not final on how this system works. The tuning is changing all the time.
Yeah, there's things even happening, like if you look at the show for Succubus Kerrigan, we did a graphical update on her, and some of those skins, it's even the value of them is changing because we want to improve the quality of everything. So it's very much in flux, but yeah, give us our feedback.
It's good feedback.
Absolutely. All right, we'll keep it coming for sure. How do you feel about the current real money price of heroes in general? What kind of feedback have you received on them, and what changes, if any, do you plan on making based on that feedback?
We need Randy for this one. I know that they're putting out. They're just trying different prices. They're seeing what makes sense. I know a lot of the stuff we have out there is kind of incomplete. Like, we're not done with a lot of the things that are up there now, right? We've heard, feedback that this is awesome. We've heard feedback that it's too expensive, right? Like, we're just going to.
So it's a little all over the map.
All over the place.
Okay.
I think generally that it's too expensive outweighs the, that it's awesome in terms of the feedback. But we'll watch and see, And again, that's all in flux. The other thing I know that's not in there now is they've got bundles they want to do. They've got all kinds of things they want to put in to make it easier for people to get some of the stuff that they want to get. So,
cool.
It's not really final. Mostly what we're doing right now is testing to see that when you hit the buy button, everything works.
You actually get what you spent the money on.
Like that was the win for the technical alpha, and the servers didn't crash, the building didn't catch fire or whatever. That was the big win for us.
Right on. All right. Were there any development/conceptualization issues translating certain heroes from their respective universes to the MOBA format?
Yeah, we encounter that pretty often, and with these heroes, when we're developing them, we're kind of aiming for that epitome of a character, and there's so many interpretations with some of these characters being 20 years old. It's like, which version of Diablo do we do, or which version of Malfurion, because he's changed several times, and, sometimes we look like, the best picture of him is a piece of fan art, like, let's go that way, and,
right.
We constantly discover that, and then making interactive art, we constantly have the challenge of, what's the best way to convey the artistic goal and the design goal. And it can't all be pretty all the time. It has to work. And we do that constantly, and we're always giving feedback back and forth. The WoW characters are always ones that people really have a lot of connection to, and we're constantly trying to just really nail those fantasies, because some have gone from heroes to villains to raid bosses back to heroes. And we're like, okay, which Thrall do you guys want to do? Do you want to do Rogue Thrall? Do you want to do, Warlords is going to have another interpretation of Thrall? Do we want to do Classic Thrall?
Spirit Wolf Thrall, yeah.
Exactly.
Seriously, you have a lot of choices.
Yeah, and, we have to weigh those constantly, and, sometimes to the pain of either design or art or engineering even, it's like, Thrall's not going to drop totems, or he's not going to transform, he's going to do this, or, we shift constantly on some of that stuff.
And would you say that function trumps form, or is it more of like by character that you?
We negotiate that a lot. I think it's the best way to put it. We have notes for each other, like this spell effect is too loud, and conversely, I'll say like this ability. I like the ability. Can we make it louder? Can we make a bigger smash on it or something? So I really
it affects balance as well. Where you come back and say, "Dude, I just want to do more with this. Can we match that with the game balance?" And so it's a constant discussion because we want to support the art, and the art wants to support the design, right? Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure that these guys get to do the most amazing models, the most amazing effects they possibly can, and they want to look at us and say, "I want this to play." Right, and so we've gotten to a point where we're pretty good in the sense that we learned this through StarCraft as well.
Yeah.
Right, the give and take of design and art, totally a challenge, and a right balance there. We're really looking out for one another, trying to make sure the other guy's work is as good as it can possibly be, is what makes it really, really function.
Makes sense. So you appreciate the whole team aspect. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, Dustin and I joke a lot. Some heroes we don't really get to design. Like we always joke about Diablo, where it's like, I know what I have to make. It's going to be a big red demon, and Dustin's like, Chaos Lightning, Fire Nova.
So thanks, they're going to be there.
Deliver it. And
that one's already done.
Yeah.
Right. Dota and League of Legends have their number of heroes/champs in the range of like 100 plus. Is there an upper limit that you guys are targeting for characters in heroes?
It's so hard to know. We've got the background of all of these universes to draw from. I think we could do an endless number if we really wanted to.
It feels like it.
What we really want to do is make sure that each choice is really distinct, that feels really special. I think when we get to the point where we're repeating ourselves, we'll go, that's cool. We're good. We're good. We'll stop here. We'll just do a few more. We'll try to really be careful with that. And we've had it happen now where we got this guy. He's gonna be so cool. He's got this power. It's like, is that Murden you just designed? I think you just designed Murden again. Like, yeah, it's this Murden. Okay, never mind. Right.
And back to the drawing board.
Yeah, back to the drawing board. So when we get to the point where we're repeating ourselves, it's like you'll see us start to slow down. We're not at that point yet, right? So we're going to keep going for as long as we can. But that's the most important value for us, that each hero feels really special and really distinct, both artistically and in terms of the game design.
Yeah, that's kind of the magic of the talent system. The talent system adds a lot of depth and really gets those heroes close to what personifies them. And that's why you'll see things like Chen and Sylvanas coming around, where we've had them available for a while, but now the talent system is like, they're really going to be loud. This is going to absolutely be Sylvanas. There's going to be all sorts of features on her that make her distinct, and we'll probably keep doing that for quite a while.
We think we can do it. Excellent. We think we can do it, but we'll see. If we get to 35 and it starts to run dry, then it runs dry, right? And
but as long as they all feel distinct, then you're achieving that goal that you set out. Yeah. Cool. And I feel like also, just to make a quick comment, it seems like that is what you achieve with these 4 that you just revealed, because like you were saying, you want them to be game-changing, not necessarily just like another support. Right. This is actually, Lily, a support character that stands on her own.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. All right. How extensive will modding be in Heroes? Will we be able to design custom skills, maps, heroes?
We'd like to get back to where we're at in StarCraft at a minimum, right? Where you've got an arcade space where you can build stuff and you can share it with other users in our environment, whether it be whole new game modes or whatever. We got some challenges we have to work out in terms of it being a free-to-play game, right? And you could upload I don't know what on there, and then we could say, I'm sorry, that's offensive, you got to take it down, and you make another account and you upload it again, right? So we've got some challenges to deal with, but once we overcome some of those hurdles and figure out how to get that done, I think we'd love to get back to that custom made. It's been so fun for us for StarCraft.
Absolutely. And it's cool to see kind of some of the modes. I know for me personally, like I love watching the pros in StarCraft, but my APM's like -3.
Sure.
But I'll be in the it's really slow, right? I'm working on it.
It's like unplugging them out.
Yeah, I don't know. At that point, you just get up and walk away. Is that what that is?
Pretty much. I concede.
That'll still be 0. I don't know.
But I love the arcade. Like I'm in there and playing like Star Strikers and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to stuff like that.
It's been a great thing for us for decades now, right? Like we've been doing this for a long time. Like the game we're making is a genre largely invented by hundreds of fans. Oh, and I was playing this when it was Anne of Strife, right? Back in the day, right? And it's evolved within a Blizzard community, which has been just a joy to play with, to be part of, to watch. So we're pretty passionate about it. Right? Pretty excited about it.
Cool. Right now, the epic quest for the heroes is kind of bare. Do you guys have something fun planned going forward with that?
Yeah, that's definitely an iterative state, I'd say.
plus the skins, right?
Yeah, the
That's
skins
where
are
we're
going to
going.
be available.
So we showed this yesterday. I think you guys showed them off great. Where there's a super skin that's supposed to be available at the end of that epic quest, right?
Oh, that's like the barbarian one that you showed.
One. So that would be an example of when you get that. Yeah, the tuning, as Phil's saying. Who knows? That could be way off.
And we're moving towards, we're going to reward games played, not just games won. So that'll incentivize people to stay in the game and just participate because, your goal is out there. And don't quit. Just keep playing, keep experimenting and enjoying the game, and we're going to kick you down some cool stuff.
Nice. And actually that leads into another question that we were kind of curious about, because there's no concede feature. So would you rather sort of give people reasons to stay in the game rather than allow them to leave earlier than you might want?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've seen too many comebacks, and I've had too many games come back when I'm even 3 or 4 level deficit, right? And they're some of the best games I've ever had. So I would generally prefer if we can find legitimate ways to incentivize you to stay around. Now, having said that, if we get to a point where this is just too snowballing and it's broken, I think we can look at adding a concede feature, but we're not quite there yet. We have a bunch of tuning coming in on our snowballiness that will reduce a lot of that in the next build or two, and we think we can make a big difference in that respect. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. We're not really hardcore on that.
All right, that's good. Will heroes add achievements, and will we possibly see rewards from those, such as skins?
Man, have we even thought of it? I'm sure it's on the horizon.
We've talked about it. I don't know what's going to happen with achievements. We have so many reward systems in play right now.
True.
I can't imagine another achievement toast after that, another achievement tracker. And I kind of feel like the game is a series of achievements, right? Like it is where you get experience points and you're
the leveling up,
getting quests for your characters and all that. I feel like we've kind of got an achievement system built in. And it's a kind of achievement system that I like where it encourages me to keep playing as opposed to do one thing and forget about it. I've done it, right? And so I feel like we're trying to build the more advanced version of the achievement system, the one that encourages continual play, the one that keeps rewarding me as long as I'm willing to enjoy the experience, as opposed to like what we do for StarCraft makes a lot of sense. You play the campaign, there's achievements in the campaign, you complete those achievements, you're done. And it's another way to get squeezed a little bit more of the campaign, but you don't want to play the campaign 50 times,
right.
Maybe 3. And that would be generous, right? That would be awesome, right? I'd love for you to have that much fun with it. And I think that kind of achievement design works very well for that kind of system. I think I don't know if this is definitely true, but the first achievement system I saw was in Xbox Live, right? The one I experienced, and that was designed largely for single player games, and it worked very well for that. But we're targeting something that's sort of continuous with daily quests, maybe weekly quests, and all that kind of stuff. But we'll see. It's certainly a possibility.
All right. Are there any we asked that one already. Currently, we are unable to see whispers from people on our friends list that are not in our current game. Is this working as intended or something? Okay.
That's Tech Alpha.
Okay.
There's so much. You got to give us Tech Alpha.
Yeah.
Like it's Tech Alpha. This is
That's just like the
test.
bank answer.
Do the servers work? That's what we're trying to find out. When we took it outside of the walls, what happens? And then we're learning a lot about the gameplay and what we can do better. We're actually getting some balance feedback that's really good. That's all just bonus. Like the real goal was, do the servers work? The servers work. Right? What if we had
people can play
4 more people? Do they work now? Oh, thank God they work now. That's what we're finding out. But yeah, like all the social stuff, really rough. And the guys, all the engineers are working on all the design, they know it. Like they are very aware, right? To the point of tears. Like, why didn't we fix that before we went out? It's driving me crazy because we're all planning at night with you guys, right? So we're experiencing everything you're experiencing. So yeah, the fact that you can't chat, even just with the friends list, the way it's displayed, the way chat is functioning, all going to go through giant revisions in the next many months. The whole front-end HUD, like where team levels are located at, where map objectives, how big the mini-map is, how the UI is displayed for talents, gone. All going to be redone in the next couple months. So I know it looks polished. It's not, right? There's a lot more we can do to this game, and we're going to keep working on it for a long time at this point. And honestly, if we do our jobs right, we get to keep working on it for a very long time.
Very true.
Even past release, right? To the point, like when we get to an open beta, that's a place we want to be very good. But we can keep adding to this, hopefully, for months and years to come, right? And that's our goal.
Okay. Yeah, and I think it is worth saying, like, people have been across the board saying this is like the most polished Tech Alpha I've ever seen. Like, if anything, this could be someone else's released game.
Way more than we want to do. We are not done. And we're just constantly, I think when we came back from that first weekend and we had it at home, most of us had 7 pages of notes. All just full of rage and bile. Like, why? Why did we do that? That's not okay. And it was real, and we want to just keep working on it. And I've still got at least 4 of those pages, right, that I just want to see changes on, right? And I know everybody on the team is similar, right? So we have a bunch of work we still want to do.
That's exciting. Cool. Will we see beta keys at some point? I know people never.
No, well, I don't know about never, but that's certainly our plan now. No keys. I don't want to promise no keys, but we've found that just flagging accounts is a much safer way to go. Right? It prevents people from getting confused and handing out their battle account to somebody else for a key. Right?
And then getting
not
compromised.
a key, and they get compromised.
Right.
And it's a disaster. Right? So our plan right now is to just you will sign up on our website, and then we start pulling from that list of people, and we just flag your account as having access. And you go into our BattleNet app, and you download, and you go. And that seems to be the easiest way to go. Now, we may change our policy on that, but until you see it at Blizzard.com, don't assume we're giving out keys. It's not real. Right?
All right. The flip side of that, I got to ask the hard question. Do you feel like it kind of hurts the hype because people, are essentially praying and sitting and waiting for that access versus like going out and doing a contest and like, oh, I got a beta key from that?
Well, I don't know. We can't do contests. That's certainly something we could talk about, but I don't know if we're not really worried about the hype, right? We just need to test the alpha. Like, that's the most important thing, right? And if there's certainly feedback for people, they want us to do it differently when it comes to a beta phase, I think that's feedback we could take and we could talk about, right? Okay. But at this point, testing is the goal. We've got to get the testing done. And I know there are people out there who want in, and we are sorry, but if I had 4 more guys, it might crash the server.
Right. Yeah, so you're at that little pinnacle.
We got to take it cautiously. We got to be careful. We got to make sure we do it right.
Good. Okay. Some players have complained about the lack of ability to carry their team, and you guys have said before you're fine with that. It's more about the team play. Having seen high-tier players now in action for about a month, is this still the way that you feel, and are you set on a team-centric model?
Yes, we definitely feel like this is volleyball.
Yeah.
This is a way to play with your buddies. Now, I have carried teams. I have totally carried teams. I've played with
so
people
it is
who are weaker
possible.
than me. Yeah, but I don't get a level for it.
Right.
Just like I carried a team in Call of Duty, right? And I'll see my score and I'll go, I'm 20-2. You guys are a little less than that. But don't worry, I'll be on the objective when the time comes, and I'll fight off 4 of these guys, right? Not that I'm that great at Call of Duty, but if I get in with some people who don't know, then I do okay. And I've played with some people who are new to Heroes, and I've carried them, right? Where I've been there when they needed me there. I was calling out the objectives. I was telling them where to be. I was the team captain, and I was protecting them in trouble. I usually use Murden for this, right? Because I can take a beating. So if I see a teammate in trouble, I jump in, I throw a bolt, and I'm fighting them off, body blocking for my ally to get away, and I'm carrying that player. But I don't get +3 levels as a result of that. Right? I just have to carry that player as best I can. And if I do that a good job, maybe we'll win the game. Right? But yeah, we're not really going for a scenario where because I'm doing better, I get to keep doing more better. Right?
Gotcha.
We really like what team levels does for our game. And one of the things that's huge about this is when we had map-based objectives on this game and we had individual levels, we often got people saying, I'm not going to go to the objective. Why not? I have to leave the lane.
Right.
If I leave the lane, guess what happens? I lose levels. If I lose levels, I can't play. I'm literally useless to my team. I'm just going to stay here and farm these minions. And with the objective, it's cool. Like, it's not cool enough because I can't risk falling behind. Even we were offering experience points on those objectives. You have scenarios where people would say, but if I don't score it, it's too risky. It's too risky. I'm not going to go.
And so it becomes more about the self than
it's more about the self. And so, I've had games where, I'm playing on Dragonshire where there's the 2 obelisks that you capture to unlock the Dragon Knight in the middle of the map, where I have not captured a shrine, and that was what my team needed me to do, where I'm constantly threatening, and I constantly keep it at neutral, or I capture it and they take it away. But I'm constantly sparring with that player, and I'm preventing that dragon from being unlocked for the enemy team. But I'm not really winning. I'm just interfering. And I'm doing the correct move, and I'm awesome, and it's great, but it doesn't look good on paper, right? Yeah. But it's exactly the right move. And so the team leveling gives us the ability to engage with the map objectives. The team leveling also enables me to do a lot of cross-lane movement to support my allies without risking losing a bunch of experience points. So if I want to be Zeratul and I'm going to go get somebody, that was for a long time for us. That was a very calculated decision. Like, well, what if I don't get him? I'll be down a level.
Right.
Even leaving the lane will take me down a level. I'm going to stay here, right? And now it's like, you know what? We got a guy in each lane. You want to roam? Dude, roam.
Go for it.
Go roam. Have a good time. Oh, you got killed? It's cool. We got the lanes covered. You're fine, right? Same thing goes for support. Like, if you suddenly see that, Uther, they need Uther top. Uther, go top. It's good. We got this, And at the same time, you've got scenarios as well now where now you've got places where allies can really afford to help one another. The other thing that would happen, too, frequently is you'd have bad matchups in lanes, right? And it's like, well, this matchup isn't working for me either. The matchup between the heroes is rough. Like, this hero's countering me a little bit. Or this guy's got my number. I don't know why. I should be doing okay, but he just seems to know what I'm doing up here. Now we go, dude, just switch it. Hey, just switch it. No worries.
Or you're not locked in.
You're not locked in. I'll go down, you go top. hey, we're back in business, we're good to go, as opposed to before it's like, well, I want to leave, but it's too risky. Maybe I could just soldier on here. Well, I'm not leaving my lane because I'll lose levels, right? And so that's what it was doing to our game. I think without the map objectives, it's a different experience. Right?
Absolutely.
I could make a case for, all those other things are more minor problems. But with the map objectives, we almost had to do it. And then when you throw in all these other benefits, it's like, whoa, this is good for our game. This is really healthy.
Excellent. All right, excellent. All right, we're out of time. Thank you guys so much. I absolutely appreciate you guys sitting down with us and giving us your insight into what is looking like an awesome future for Heroes.
Sweet.
We're excited to play. Thank you.
Thank you.